Fidelity All-Stars. The old.
So, can I just, I don't want to criticise there, but if I was listening and I'd enjoyed that track and I wanted to know what it was, I wouldn't have understood what you just said.
Really?
Could you just say that again?
Low Fidelity All-Stars.
Yeah, Low Fidelity, because you went Low Fidelity, wasn't it?
I was doing I was doing me DJ talk,
No, it's
wasn't I?
just you didn't open your mouth wide
I
enough.
can't be bothered.
No, sure.
It takes too. Look at that! Listen to him crinchling his little crinchling.
Cringe, you're not crinchling.
You're not crinchling your Jaffa cakes, are you?
He wasn't going out on air. No one knew.
I bet you're one of those people in cinemas that think you're being really quiet eating a bag of crisps, aren't you? Do you go to cinemas?
I haven't been for a bit, actually.
What do you do, Carl?
Carl!
What's an entertaining evening for you?
Yeah.
What would you do to occupy your time? Your hobbies, for instance.
Might get a video out from prime time.
Right. What would you enjoy that, or would it just be a chore for you?
No, I think things like that.
You really hate doing that.
That's when you really switch off and you forget all your problems and stuff.
Well, you haven't got any
You
problems.
haven't got any problems, Carl.
You don't know that. I put on a face when I'm with you.
You wear a mask. Are you crying inside,
This
Carl?
is you being the happiest you can be. You're like a clown, aren't you? Oh,
You think I'm like a hard, miserable man? Because there was somebody else
I don't think you're hard.
the other day, and like I said to him, I can't watch The Elephant Man because it upsets me.
God, you're the best! You don't know you're doing it. You're
No,
the
but
best.
Can you watch it?
Well,
Always, when it gets to that bit where they're carrying him through the village and messing about with his head.
Do you know, this is true, my dad watched that once, and we were watching it, my mum and my sister and that were all quite moved by it, almost ridiculous tears, thinking it was a wonderful example of man's inhumanity to man and all that thing.
Yeah.
And my dad just went, wouldn't he make an amazing novelty rucksack? And it cheapened the film for me, and I've never had this sort of
Steve was thinking, he's not that ugly.
Ooh. Blimey, here we go, we were laughing at Carl! Can we focus on one person at a time, Rick, please? Let's destroy him first.
Oh, God. Tell him what you said to me when that record was playing about the Jaffa cakes. He bought some Jaffa cakes, which was lovely. He went across the road and he handed out the Jaffa cakes. And then I went, oh, thanks very much. And then what did you say?
I just remember learning at school, I'm not like making fun of the illness because it's not funny, but they cure cancer.
Jaffa cakes cure cancer.
Not like fully.
Right. They just go some way to helping.
Yeah. Do you know, it'll sort of help. If you've got it, you can't say, right, get me a load of Jaffa cakes.
Right.
But I think it sort of puts a bit of a stop to it if you haven't got it. Do you know what I mean? It's like having vitamin tablets.
Is this medically proven? Should we get Dr. Fox down here to confirm that?
I can't. I actually can't cope. You're just play a record. Play a record.
Can I just, if anyone has ever survived cancer thanks to Jaffa cakes, please call in.
No, but I didn't say
He
that.
said, and then he went, it's the orange thing in it. And then he tried to read it. He said, I wonder if it's, and he tried to read out this scientific name.
My head has tricks me. Think I've seen it before.
Elbow, Asleep in the Back. I think that is absolutely beautiful. I think Elbow are my favourite new group.
We've sang their praises many times and they've never phoned to thank us.
Should they?
Yes.
Do they?
Annoying,
Really?
annoying.
No, they're doing a good job there. I wonder if they found their lyrics. Because I also wanted to write a song from, didn't I? They didn't take me up on that either, Steve.
I'm not sure I'm so keen on them now. Carl, can I have a Jaffa cake? Because I've just found a lump.
I think... You don't mean me, do you?
No.
Alright, good.
Thanks,
now, we interviewed Carl there. I think we've learned a little bit more about Carl there.
We did, yeah.
And I'm going to interview Steve now, Carl, because I used to be... You concentrating? Don't put it all in at once.
Carl, chew. Chew before you swallow. Careful. Alright.
I used to suffer with that a lot.
What?
Not chewing.
The amount of times I nearly died as a kid.
What? Forgetting to chew.
Choking.
Sure.
Mint Imperials. My mum stopped that.
Drinking them with water.
She'd have to hide them.
He's coming out of his show, isn't he? He's happy Saturdays. He's miserable all week, and he's happy Saturdays, isn't he? Oh, look at him. It's like we get him weekends.
Yeah.
And he's just happy because we sort of spoil him, don't we? And he has Jaffa cakes and everything. We let him on the
He has to go
radio.
and live with his stepmum again, don't we?
Oh,
They're the
no.
ones who listen.
Oh, really?
Your girlfriend does, doesn't she, I imagine?
She's been away for ages.
I know.
I imagine she just switches off after a while.
But we love you, don't you? We're excited. We talk about you in the week, and we think you're great. So don't just think we're using you as
cheap comedy material. I'd hate you to think that, Carl.
Handbags and Glad Rags by Rod Stewart. That would make a good theme tune.
Brilliant.
Wouldn't
And then it would work really well, perhaps on a DVD. presumably that would still be available in the shops. Great for any, New Year's vouchers you got.
You're listening to Ricky Gervais on Radio 2 with Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. So good Christmases, yeah, all round.
Definitely for me. Had a great time, yeah. Carl?
It's alright.
How does it rate with, what did Suzanne get you?
She got me, you see, you were having a go at me about giving her, a camera, right? Which
was given to you, which was second hand. Essentially second hand.
It doesn't really matter that bit. But it's a present that both of us could use, right? And you were making me feel bad about that. That's why I got her a watch.
Yeah.
Right? Which in a way I can use because I can say what time is it.
Sure.
But
Chico time, innit?
But the thing is, right? She got me she got me a little printer.
Oh,
Brilliant.
yeah, that's good, yeah.
Well,
What, you mean a little fella who works in a print shop?
just a little printer to go with a computer and that. But for me, again, that's a present that we can all be using.
You are so ungrateful.
It's not that. It's just that when it's good when you're a kid, isn't it? When Christmas is all about like your presents.
What did you want when you were a kid? What's your best present you ever had?
There's a few things. I mean, one that I always remember one Christmas, right? It was the year when computers first came out,
Right.
And there was one called the Sinclair Spectrum that I wanted, right?
What year are we talking? 80?
Must be 80, 83, 84,
Right,
yeah. And, anyway, I think my mum and dad's got me one. It's under the tree in a big box. I'm thinking, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
About the size of a computer. Brilliant. Anyway, Christmas Day comes, I couldn't sleep and all that, excited like you are as a kid.
Yeah.
Get up, open it. It's not the one I wanted, right?
Really?
It's not the Spectrum, it was a ZX81,
Okay.
right? So I thought, well, I've best not show that I'm disappointed in that. Even as a kid, you have sort of, that thing of
You've
saying,
lost that, now you say, oh, it's not what I wanted, Suzanne, but go on.
yeah, but so I sort of, pretended I liked it and that. I thought, just play some games on it, I'll just get on with it, right? Anyway, I try and
Sure, even as a kid he had the weight of the world. I know.
His parents have saved up for it.
Look at his frown lines. Look, he's frowned since he was about 4.
Yeah.
Look at those lines.
Right. So, yeah, but this is why. You'll understand in a minute when I tell you the end of this story.
Go on.
So, I load up a computer game, which used to take about 10 minutes.
Was it on cassette? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a fax machine, doesn't it? Yeah.
Right? Anyway, it wouldn't load. I was thinking, what's up with this? Is it broke? Right? And I kept trying it. And my dad sort of, my mum used to get up early to open the presents with me. My dad got up at about midday, he couldn't be bothered. Right? Anyway, he comes down, I'm
This is
still...
so telling. This
I
is
know, the picture he paints is
I
so
know, it's
heartbreaking.
like Alan Bennett or something. Or Dickens.
Yeah, or some of those kind of 60s back, like Kathy Come Home, sort of,
really insane dramas.
So anyway, so I'm there, right, getting frown growing and that.
Yeah.
Trying to read this book, thinking, why isn't it working? So my dad has a look, and he goes, oh, you're missing a bit. I said, what? He goes, you need a RAM pack, right? Which is a bit that you put in the back of it that gives it extra memory.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do you
need one
mean?
of them.
I'm like, what do you mean? It's Christmas Day, right? And we're talking about the days when, like, Tandy wasn't open. It wasn't open for days.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like now, by lunchtime Christmas Day, everything's open again.
Yeah.
Sure,
Right?
yeah.
Then you had to wait about 2 weeks. Everyone like had a big holiday and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh god, I actually started to be sick, right, with frustration.
Oh no!
What?
How old were you? How old were you?
Do you know what?
How old were you?
Well, like I say, I don't know. It must have been about 8 or something.
Oh.
But that thing of like, what, it's Christmas Day, I can't play with it, and I had to wait for like 2 weeks, what have you. Sat over the kitchen sink, sort of going, stressing out. Hated it. It was a rubbish Christmas.
Wow. I love the idea of you going,
Stress, isn't it?
What did your dad say?
He just sort of said, look, calm down, we'll get you one when the shop's open. And it's like, yeah, but 2 weeks, isn't it?
I have never heard anyone being sick from stress.
Oh, poor little kid, just so stressed. Foo Fighters, Best of You on XFM 104.9. Alright, Carl, you calm down now about science.
It just does me head in, a lot of this stuff. I think I would have been better off sort of growing up in the 1940s or something.
Why?
Well, there isn't as much science going on, people just lived, didn't they, for the moment.
So
you know what I mean?
what if you'd had to go to the war?
What?
What if
Alright,
you-
maybe 1945, then I'd be happier. Just after the war. Just that bit after the war and before they started
What
messing
age?
about.
What year would you want to be born?
When was the war over?
45.
Right. 46 then.
But there's
Born
rationing.
46.
There's rationing for another 10 years.
56 then.
But there's a lot of science going on.
Oh, forget it. It just annoys me, all the messing about. They're always messing about with stuff, and I sometimes think, is it doing any good? Is what I mean. Mouse with ears, mouse with monkey's testicles. They're messing about with a mammoth now.
Go on.
Well, they're just saying, well, they're managing to knock one together.
Who
And you just think, some scientist somewhere. just messing about.
Andy.
No, but it's just, do we need, I mean, we've done it before about the do we need them thing. The amount of creatures and insects and that are knocking about. You've got that caterpillar that I mentioned walking about, it doesn't know where it's going. Get rid of them. The mammoth. The world's busy enough, it's crowded, it's overcrowded now. How much room are they going to take up? Do you know what I mean?
Why are they doing it, Carl? Do you know? All you know is that they're trying to muck around with
because
them.
they can, because that's all it is, isn't it? Because they can. You're messing about, someone's being paid to do stuff.
What else are we here for? If not to try stuff out. What else are we here for?
What do you mean?
Well, what are we here for?
Just to enjoy life, isn't it?
Well, some scientists enjoy knocking a mammoth together.
No, but don't worry about the mammoth. It died out. Maybe it died out for a reason. Why didn't Noah save it if it was important?
Because Noah, what do you mean? Noah's not true, is it?
Well, I don't know. There might have been some truth in it.
What truth in it? That he put 2 of every animal that existed into an ark. How big was this then? Why didn't they eat each other?
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying.
Imagine the noise, Carl.
Yeah.
No,
Trying to get a bit of kit there.
There's points to that where I go, that didn't happen, because where could he have been where there was a hamster and an elephant and a crocodile? Where was he? Do you know what I mean?
But none of it's true. What bit do you believe?
What do you mean?
It got a bit wet.
What are we talking about? The mammoth or the...
No. What is up with you?
No, it's just that we had a lot...
seriously, have you got brain damage?
No, it's just that we had a lot of topics going on there. I just don't know which...
we were talking about Noah. And then you suddenly go, I know where did we... What? The mammoth or Noah? What? What is it? None of it's true. What? Think of it. Oh, God. Think of the first thing. Build an ark. Alright.
Can I just clarify, what's an ark?
It's a big boat thing.
Right. I've never had any experience of carpentry.
Just build a big boat thing.
But I don't make...
Just have a go, don't worry, you'll be alright, I'll make sure it's alright.
But once I've built that, I mean, how big shall I build it? What am I...
Very big, needs every animal, 2 of every animal, go on, every animal.
I mean, the boat building, fair enough.
I told you to make it big.
Right.
Don't worry about the fish, they can swim.
Okay, but so
All the birds. Get the flightless ones though, they're drowned. Get the flightless ones. They would not the penguins. They're flightless, but they can swim. But all other animals.
I should be writing this down.
Why? I mean, wouldn't you have took that opportunity to go, right? Forget the, whatever. Mind you, the jellyfish didn't need to get in it, did it? But there's other animals where you can.
We don't need to be here.
No.
Because Karl is actually having a little argument with his own head. It's like, you remember that comic strip, The Numbskulls?
Yeah.
Where there's loads of people in there doing different stuff, that he can hear them.
Yeah.
And sometimes his own mind puts him off.
Yeah.
Like just then, he has an argument with himself and it puts him off. Right, what's your question?
I'm just saying, don't mess about with a mammoth.
Whoa.
Good.
Okay.
Well, what a platform. It's good. We've got our radio show, we've got our own radio show. People are spending money to advertise it. People are actually bothering to listen. And the words of wisdom coming out of your mouth is don't mess around with a mammoth.
Brilliant.
Great.
No, but just going back to...
You sound just like Bob Geldof.
I can't be bothered with this.
He's trying to say...
What can't you be bothered with?
Just because I think I've got a good point.
What? Don't mess around with a mammoth.
That's not a point.
Don't put your daughter on the stage, Missing Roy. What are you talking about?
It's just that I think there's too many animals knocking about. I mean, I know you love your cat and what have you. Waste of time, though. What do they do?
Well, they frighten you.
Well, yours is mental, though, isn't it?
He's sitting there, and the cat right behind him, and he nearly shut himself.
Well, your cat is crazy. It does go from... It loves... Because it's got claws, big old claws.
Of course they have, it's a cat.
Yeah, but no, most cats don't come leaping at your ghoulies every time you sit down with a lovely warm hot cup of tea.
Aren't they pointless, though, Steve?
Well, I've always had a problem with pets generally. The idea of
But
pets.
cats the most. I was saying to Ricky about, I don't know why, out of all the animals that Dick Whittington could have took with him on his journey.
Again!
Forget the cat. Forget it. What's he gonna do?
Okay, you've got to walk to London because the streets are paved with gold. You can take any animal. What do you take?
It wouldn't be a cat, because it would keep wandering off. You do double the distance. Trying to get it back. Come here. They don't listen to you. I can't be dealing with them.
I agree. You don't get enough affection back from a cat. A dog, it loves you, it can't get enough of you. But cats, they're very snooty.
Well, they're cool, aren't they, cats? They're cool, independent. I like dogs as well. I like all animals. What would you take with you?
What, if I was Dick Whittington?
Yeah.
And where's he walking from? Like,
I don't know. Wasn't it Bristol to London or something? I don't know. Again, it's a bit hazy. This isn't well documented.
But couldn't he? I mean, why is he taking a pet and not a mate who... I'm not interested. I try and learn and you don't help.
We'd like to try and educate Karl, Rick, as you know, as we have done since we've known him, really, and he doesn't really seem to absorb any information.
No.
And I was asked recently, when I was going back to Bristol, if I would come and talk to a classroom of school children.
All right.
You know, just talking about careers, and particularly my career. And I went down there. It was in Bristol. It was an inner city school, quite rough area.
You're a son of Bristol. You're
exactly. They love me.
You're a
down there,
celebrated son of Bristol. You're a Golden Globe winning person who's returned to the homeland.
It annoys me when I go down there that I'm not met as I get off the train like the Beatles used to be when they came back from America.
By a mayor and a brass band.
Hordes of people, ticker tape.
Forever this day will be called Steve Merchant Day.
Exactly. It frustrates me that I just sneak back into town. There's no fanfare.
Yeah.
But basically they asked me to come talk at this school, and I sort of batted them away and said I'm too busy. And so I foolishly left them the opportunity to ask me again, which they did, and I didn't have a decent excuse, so I went. And I was expecting to talk to maybe a room of sixth formers. They were 9. These kids, 9 and 10 years old. But I realised as I was walking into the school, I was suddenly really nervous. I was more nervous than anything I've ever done. Because I realised that I've not spoken to a child like that since I was a child myself. I've never interacted with them. So I didn't know at what level I would be able to pitch this talk. You know, I didn't know what they understood, what ideas they understood. Obviously, in my mind, I was picturing Karl, and then I was ratcheting it up a few years. Sort of IQ-wise. And I went in
So what did you talk to them about?
And I was supposed to talk about careers, and I realised very quickly that they didn't really understand conceptual ideas.
Did they know who you were?
Not really. One or two of them vaguely knew. One of them went, "What's Rick Gervais like?" And I said,
You got a deep voice.
yeah. Actually, that was one of the teachers. And I'm supposed to be talking about careers, how to get into careers, and I start trying to explain the idea of being a writer, and I say that it's very important to be able to get inside other people's minds, you know, figure out how they think, and how, you know, and trying to understand other people. But this, they didn't really seem to grasp. They started talking amongst each other. You know, they were just losing interest. I lost them straight away. I was devastated.
Oh no.
So then, and this is the worst thing, right? I started lying to them. Because I realised that every time I told a slight lie, because I thought they'd be interested, they were.
great.
So
I
carried
know
on like-
Justin Timberlake.
You're not joking, right? They said, one of them said, "I understand you used to be a DJ," and I went, "Yeah, it's great being a DJ because you get to meet pop stars like Robbie Williams and Beyonce." Never met either of them. Never met them. And they went, one of the kids went, "What's Beyonce like?" And I went, joking, I went, "You wouldn't like her." And I said, "No, I'm joking. She's lovely, she's sweet, she's good as gold." I was making it up. But they were loving this, and the teacher was going, "Would you all like to meet Beyonce?" And they were going, "Yeah." And I was thinking, God, well...
I'll bring her down tomorrow.
Well, exactly, but I don't know why I felt it was like I wanted to win the approval of these 9-year-olds.
That's amazing.
Because my own achievements, I realised, wouldn't mean anything to them. You know, I could talk about the people I have met, but they don't care if I've met Robert De Niro, but they're interested if I've met Girls Aloud. Or me and Girls Aloud, some of the times we've had together, it turns out. But it is fascinating when you have to interact with people, with children like that, because I've got no concept of how to talk to children. To me, I can't grasp the difference really in conversation and chat between, say, a 7-year-old and a 13-year-old. I don't know at what point they learn stuff and pick stuff up. Do they understand? Do you know what I mean? I find it really hard.
I remember once when I was about 9, the headmaster, deputy headmaster, used to do a little fable. I've talked about him in stand-up. He used to do a little fable. There's one I remember where he got a tube of toothpaste, and he got someone up. He said, "You, come out here. Squeeze this tube of toothpaste out on this board." and he squeezed it all out, right? He squeezed it all out and emptied it. He went, now put it back in. And the kid tried to struggle, and he goes, you can't do it. He said, it's easier to do something than undo it. Okay, go back to class. Like people are going, oh, I get it. I know what he means.
Yeah.
They're just thinking, don't squeeze all the toothpaste out.
Yeah.
Just save some.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's no way they're going to take on that
exactly.
metaphor at the
It's
age of 9.
too conceptual, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Just stop misbehaving or I'll smack you. That worked.
Oh, chimpanzee's that? He's gone and written it down again.
That's the ever-changing jingle for Karl's diary, excerpts of which we like to read each week. Suzanne said today can be my day because she has been a bit of a pain with her illness and that. So she said I can do what I want today. We went for a walk around Green Park. Loads of tourists were about looking at the Queen's house. She was in because the flag was up. I wouldn't want to live there. Why wouldn't you want to live there? Just because it's right in the centre of town?
It's just not in a good place, is it? It's got a roundabout outside and that.
Really busy.
It's pretty good.
I went for a pee in the toilets. When I came out, a pigeon had shat on Suzanne's coat. She was in a bit of a mood about it. A bird shat on my ear once. I left it for about 10 to 15 minutes until I got home. I washed it off, and in that 10 to 15 minutes, it had corroded me ear.
Yeah, he's had a lot of problem with ears. He told me the other day, he got up, washed, had a bath, had some breakfast, went to the shops to get a newspaper and had a chat with a woman in the corner shop, got home, pottering around, looked in the mirror, he had a cotton bud sticking out of his ear. He went, what annoyed me was she didn't say anything. Like it's her responsibility.
Yeah.
No, but she knows me well enough to sort of, you know, go, you know, you got a cotton bud in your ear.
No, she knows you well enough to go, Carl's got a cotton bud in his ear, I've seen worse. When you've got a cotton bud in your ear, what interrupted
I think Suzanne called or my dad called or something, and then because I was running a little bit late because I'd been talking to them, the earbud was in, I just popped my coat on and went to the shop.
Carl, you got a toothbrush in your mouth. Oh.
Walked through Covent Garden. There were 5 of them mimes knocking about. I don't understand why people take pictures of mimes. Everyone looks like a mime in a picture.
That's so true. That's really true. If his point is they're staying still, if that's their skill, a picture won't tell that story. That's absolutely true.
My dad took the cat to be put down today because it kept bumping into things since losing its sight. My mum said she's not going to get another one. She said the parrot is looking worried as it's seen the budgie and the cat go in the space of 3 months.
Your mum said the parrot's looking worried. What happened to the cat then?
It gets into a lot of fights. It lost one eye, and then it got into another fight and lost another.
Oh,
and it was just walking around bumping into stuff. The vet sort of said, oh, we can do stuff to keep it alive and all that, but it's a bit out of order, isn't it? Because it costs a fortune, they shouldn't tell you.
But
Mum and Dad can't afford to have eyes put on it and stuff.
no, you can't have eyes put on a cat
No,
anyway.
but they said, oh, we can do something here. We can
What?
have its eyes sorted out.
But I don't think you should be allowed cats.
Why?
Not the Pilkington family.
Why not? Well, they have
keep
good
dying.
lives. Yeah, I know, but they have good lives whilst they're still knocking about. It's just that we get through them.
It's a good job you're not going to have kids.
Oh, God almighty. I can't believe it. The cat that kept throwing up. So his mum shaved it. Unbelievable. Dry wipe cat.
A mate sent me a story on email about a bloke in China who has this weird illness that means he can't have his picture taken. That's not the weird bit. If he tries, his body doesn't appear in the photo.
Don't talk shit.
He has had group pictures taken and everyone appeared apart from him.
Don't talk shit.
The
That's
story
bollocks.
had a picture next to it of a family photo and it said he was stood at the back, but you couldn't see him.
Right, he wasn't in the picture.
He was in the picture.
No, he wasn't in the picture.
He's done loads of tests and stuff.
No,
on him.
I haven't done loads of tests. This is bollocks. There's no way this is scientifically possible. What's his want? Yeah, now he's wanted. Just a white bit of paper up on the police wall. Have you seen this man? What man? If you see him, tell us. You're talking shit.
Suzanne watched the film You've Got Mail tonight for about the 14th time. I don't think you could properly fancy someone without seeing them, unless you're blind. I think it's odd when blind people have affairs. Why is that odd?
Just because most stuff is based on looks, isn't it? So you think once they've found someone, they're happy with them, stick with them.
But no, it's not true. Most things are based on looks.
What I mean is when you first like meet someone and that.
Well, then initially it's only looks because you don't know them.
So that's what I'm saying.
But that's a ridiculous thing to say, isn't it?
Well, no, it's just what I think. I'm not saying that's like fact or anything. I'm just thinking if you're blind, why mess about?
You're still basing on it if it's only looks that people find. What?
Yeah, I'm just saying. So why is a blind person messing about having an affair?
Because I'm saying that. Presumably that blind person isn't basing anything on looks.
Alright, I mean, maybe that's not, I mean more like...
Do you want me to cross it out? Shall I cross it out?
It's just the same way, I think I put how, you know, people, I read something in a Sunday paper once with some bloke who was going out with some woman, he ended up going out with a sister who was a twin. If you're gonna have a change, have a change.
Spoke to Ricky about trips to the moon.
Oh.
He was up for going just to see what the world looks like. I came up with the idea of a giant mirror on the moon that would reflect the world back. He had a few questions, but I had the answers.
Yeah.
He changed the subject, I won.
Right. My first question was, how would you get it up there? He said bit by bit. That'd be a good mirror then, wouldn't it? I said, how big would it be? He went, you'd still need a telescope. I said, how would you get it on the right side of the moon, always facing the right? He went, what? He went, does the moon move then? I went, yes.
And if we don't like the mirror on the moon, we can always wallpaper over it. It's Suzanne's birthday tomorrow, so I've got to get her something. I sometimes think it would be best if we didn't celebrate birthdays. I think people would live a bit longer if they didn't know how old they were. Age puts restrictions on things. She said something about wanting one of them posh badges to put on her coat. I will look for one later.
I love the fact that around the time that you've got to buy Suzanne her birthday present, you think that birthday presents are a bad idea.
Got up early, it's Suzanne's birthday, gave her the card and present. She was well happy with her posh badge. She wore it to work. It's quite nice to hear a moment where she was actually happy for once in your company. They always say when you get someone a present, you should buy them something they wouldn't buy themselves. Daft rule. I want something I would buy myself if I had the money. When I was young, me Auntie Nora got me a present I wouldn't buy myself. It was a t-shirt with her face on. Looked at what's been going on in the world. Someone has found some people who live in an old town somewhere where they are so old-fashioned they still walk on all fours. There is a picture of them and they use shoes on their hands.
That's not old-fashioned. Why is that old-fashioned?
That's some kind of regressive evolution.
Yeah, really old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Well, it's not true, is it?
It is true. It's somewhere in,
Well, I believe they have found a group of people that are living and walking around on all fours, but I don't believe they're wearing shoes on their hands.
And I don't believe they haven't evolved to standing up.
No, they just haven't seen other people walking on 2 feet.
Don't talk shit all your life.
That's all it's about, though, isn't it? You copy. When you're a baby, if you were stuck in a room, you'd wander about on all fours, because that's the way, that's an easy way of getting about. So you only walk on 2 feet because you see everyone else doing it.
Well, I don't believe that is the case, because as I understand it, some of the family are walking on 2 feet. So I don't know what the ins and outs of it are. I know there's a forthcoming documentary on the BBC, so maybe we should watch that and then we'll all know what's going on. Instead of just leaping to conclusions because you read half of it on the internet and then skipped on to something
all
else.
I'm saying is, though, you would wear shoes on your hands if you're roaming about like that.
So you just confessed there that you leapt from fact to fiction, did you, in the space of one diary entry?
It's just that I saw a little picture.
And you assumed that they'd be wearing shoes on their feet?
If they've got shoes on their feet, they might as well have them on their hands, because their hands are doing the same as the feet. If you're not going to wear them on your hands, don't put them on your feet then.
I'm beginning to think some monkey news was bollocks.
Treated Suzanne to her tea, went and got her a curry from the shop opposite. While I waited for the food, I read a story in the Metro newspaper about an alien gang that kept appearing in someone's garden.
Christ.
The bloke moved, but when he used to pass the house at night, he would still see the aliens knocking about, hiding underneath his old shed. There was other alien stuff, but I had to go as the food was ready.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying, that.
Yeah, load of bollocks again. Well, good. More drivel from Carl's diary next week.
Rockbusters.
Three.
Come on, Carl, what you got for us?
Alright,
Got some-
well, do you want to say what the prizes are?
Actually, the
or
prizes
we
are
just put it
better
away
this
and
week.
that?
Really?
We've got.
I'll be the judge of that.
Actually, what am I talking about? No, there's a 2-disc set, Rock and Roll Legends, on the cover there. We've got Buddy Holly, Elvis, Roy Orbison, and Little Richard. So
No one wants that, baby.
nobody's interested. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, a DVD. I'm a Nick Cave fan and I wouldn't watch it.
No, you'd watch it once
Yeah,
at most
at best.
when there was nothing else.
Knowing me, knowing you.
No,
that's-
I mean, Nick Cave's good, but when do you watch rock
Exactly.
DVDs?
I
Yeah.
know. Knowing me, knowing you. Great series, obviously, but once again, on
VHS.
VHS. Who wants it on VHS?
Yeah.
Where are all the bonus features?
Absolute pointless
The
so
only thing
far.
that's half decent is this enormous hardback League of Gentlemen book, which is the scripts and all sorts of other stuff. If you're a League of Gentlemen fan, you'll love it. If you're not, I guess it's a good Christmas
If
gift.
you're not a League of Gentlemen, there's nothing in this for you.
No, exactly.
So,
So, you know, you can either enter for the hell of it.
a pile of rubbish. What's the well, not as bad as the competition, I suppose. So, go on.
Right, well, you know how it works. Cryptic clue.
It's not really cryptic. It's
No.
usually wrong.
Kind of is.
Yeah.
Right, so the first one, there's 3 of them, you get them right, you win the stuff. First one,
I'll get him close. I mean, 'cause you could win this if you got one right, possibly.
if you go to Chepstow, you will.
Was that a clue or is that a point? Is that something?
That's a clue.
Right. Say
Alright.
it again.
If you go to Chepstow, you will.
And what are the initials?
Just S.
Just
Right. Second one, E.T. is upset. What's up with him? Alright. E.T. is upset. What's it upset for? What's wrong with him? Right.
Different. So not cryptic. So go on.
M.E. The initials there.
N-E?
M.
M-E.
M for mother. M.E. Alright. And the third one, I had a tape with,
Jesus. Imagine Bob Holness doing this against in the Gold Run
I know.
against the clock. Right. I had a tape. No, I had a tape with some.
listen, I had a tape with like Humpty Dumpty on it, and Hickory Dickory Dock and that on
Yeah.
it, but I've broke it. Alright?
Constantly listening it to try to figure them out.
Trying to solve the crime.
Exactly.
Who pushed Humpty?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
initials there, B.R. Right? So, first one, if you go to Chepstow, you will. The initial S. E.T.'s upset. What's up with him? Right, what's up with E.T.?
Dunno.
What's up with E.T.? E.T.'s upset. What's up with E.T.?
Yeah. The initials there, M-E, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go through that one more time.
Yeah.
If you go to Chepstow,
They're
you
like
might.
jazz questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Just free form.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. E.T.'s a bit upset. What's that? What? Hey, dude, what's the matter, man?
And I had a tape with like Humpty Dumpty on it, Hickory Dickory Dock, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Doesn't work anymore. What's gone on there? Right?
What's gone on there?
B.R.
First time we said, well, you broke it.
Well, I broke it then.
Is that
doesn't
important or not?
Yeah. I broke it.
And you said it's B.
B.R.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, well, you can text if you have a mobile phone. So everyone, and there's no excuse to not take part. 83XFM is the text, 83XFM, or the phone number. No, we're not doing the phone, obviously. We
I think I
don't
know what
want
the B might stand for.
Rockbusters.
Yeah, they'd be loving this. Alright? 3 clues were, first one. If you go to Chepstow, you will. Right? The initial was S. That was C, horses. Alright? That was the answer there.
I'll give you that.
That's
fair
fair enough.
I'll give you that.
E.T.'s upset. What's wrong with E.T.? What's wrong with him?
Yeah, right.
The initials M.E.
Yeah.
What's up with him? He was Missy Elliott. Alright, Elliott.
Doesn't count at all.
What?
Doesn't count at all.
Missy Elliott. You know what I mean? What's wrong with E.T.?
What is that with him?
Well, go. Just let him explain it. Sorry, Carl. Do it again. Well, I wasn't listening. Do it again.
Elliott, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in E.T.?
Yeah, we'll just do the clue again.
Right. E.T.'s upset.
Yeah.
So he's looking a bit sad and that. What's
What,
up with
E.T.
him?
the extraterrestrial?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Right. And his mate,
Yeah.
who's in it's called Elliott.
Yeah.
Right. He's upset. What's up with him? Well, he's Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott, what's she got to do with it, though? I don't understand.
No. The way you'd say it, you'd say, "What's up, E.T.?" And it'd go, "Oh, Missy Elliott."
Why would he
Missing-
mention her? I don't understand. Was it a thing in the film?
Missing.
She wasn't even around.
Oh, missing?
Oh, Missing Elliott. Oh, no. Oh,
That
no.
makes sense, Carl, but
No,
I mean,
no,
she's not
no,
called
no,
Missing
no,
Elliott.
It's meant to be about
Cryptic,
rock
that's
stars,
what I
though,
always
isn't it?
say.
Missing Elliott, isn't it? So it's meant to be about rock stars, isn't it?
It's
though?
just cryptic, though, isn't it? Cryptic clues. And
Oh, no, that's not cryptic. That's shit. You.
Right, the third one. I had a tape, and it had Humpty Dumpty on it, and
I love when he says Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah.
Humpty Dumpty.
Hickory Dickory Dock and that.
Yeah.
But the tapes broke.
Yeah.
That was BR. Buster Rhymes.
Say that again, I dozed off.
Sorry, I don't understand. What do you mean?
Who's the winner, Steve?
No, it doesn't. No, do you mean busted?
Well, it's kind of like that. Cryptic.
No, it's not. No, cryptic doesn't mean change it, so it's not the same.
Steve, who's the winner? We got loads of right answers, so...
It's interesting.
Talking yesterday to Matt Robinson, the guy I did the film with that you came over and did a part in that we've cut. And his dad as a doctor and used to go around the world and stuff. And when he was about 10, he went on holiday, and they were driving through Indonesia to get to somewhere else. I forget where, but they came across this village where he said the spiders have won. Okay, they drive in. As you're driving in, he could see these things sort of hanging from the trees and the sort of telegraph poles. And as they got closer, he realised they were just big spiders. They just made webs everywhere, and he could see them on the street, okay? He said it freaked him out. They parked up in the sort of like the high street, and he said he got out, and they were running on the pavements, like pigeons, and that's just running everywhere. He said the kids were playing with them. The kids were playing with them. There was no one else freaked out less. He said he ran to the restaurant. They had to stop. He ran into the restaurant, freaked out. He got into the restaurant, and there was a tarantula on the floor. And he ran back in the car. And he said later to his dad, was that a dream? And his dad went, no, it's true. You know, it's a real place, right? He was telling us that's the worst place in the world. He was looking it up. He was trying to Google it, and he can remember the name of this place, Indonesia, and he put in Spider Village, Indonesia, right? And he couldn't find it. But another one came up in Cambodia, and it was there, and he said it was exactly the same, just as bad. A place where just spiders have won, okay? But in this place, they eat them.
They eat the spiders. The local inhabitants eat the spiders.
Yeah.
Wow. So this town is just dense with spiders.
It's
They're
just
everywhere.
they're just happy there. No one's killing them. No one's doing anything.
Are you just treading on them as you walk down the street?
He said it's just they've just taken over. There's a place off Madeira they called Spider Island where no one lives there, but with absolutely no predators. There's just millions of spiders, but no one lives there.
How do you prevent the spiders? You know, when you're sleeping, crawling in, getting in.
You don't. They just put up with them. I suppose it's that, you know, they're no weirder than any other insect or pest or whatever you call them. It's just, I suppose, because you think of spiders as loners. Yes. And they're the top sort of phobia, and it seems weird that they're almost treated like pets. But isn't that a weird place though, that you drive in and it's just, oh hello, welcome to Spider Town?
I couldn't be dealing with it. I mean, my mum wouldn't be that bothered. She's still got that one that's under the telly. She's had that for ages. And my dad threatened that he was going to kill it because he's sick of it. She's put a bit of Tipex on its back. So she knows.
What?
So she knows.
Well, how many spiders are there? What, you think you'd kill it and then replace it out of guilt? It's not like a budgie.
No, but he can sort of say, oh, I don't know, it's gone. And then if one turns up again, he'll go, your spider's back.
Yeah.
But now she's marked it.
What, so hang on,
well, that's weird.
It has a web underneath the telly?
It's always under the telly, I don't think it bothers with a web.
But what do you mean she keeps a spider under the telly?
It's just there, and she's sort of like, it's not a problem, they get rid of flies, they're not dirty. It
doesn't get rid of flies if it sits there watching Coronation Street.
It doesn't do much. Honestly, it can be there in a corner. I don't know what it does. I don't know. He just sits there. But she likes the fact that it's there. It's that thing, innit, of older people like that, don't they? They don't like change. It's like part of the family, you know, all the kids have left home now. She's got this little spider with a Tipex on its head.
I like the way that she went into a drawer. She had an idea. She was worried about it. She was worried about her husband killing it. I know. This is for your own good. Good Tipex, pop that on you.
And you've been round there with the spider, it doesn't freak you out?
Well, I'm going round this weekend, but I used to always sit on the floor to watch the telly.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm not sitting on the floor.
You'd be watching Spider-Man, it would be criticising, well that wouldn't happen.
What does your mum think of it? Does she think it's like a little pet, or she doesn't want to get rid of it?
I think it is a pet because, like, you know, she's had loads of cats, she's had dogs, she's got a budgie, and now my dad's sort of saying, don't get any more pets because it means we can't go on holiday.
Right.
The spider can look after itself.
I love the idea. Someone say, do you mind coming, we're on holiday for a week, do you mind coming around with a fly every 2 days? Yeah, I just keep an eye on it. I mean, I thought Spider Island was weird, but keeping a spider under the telly with Tipex on it as a pet
It's that time again. Do the jingle.
Oh, monkey you! Sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna do a really good one.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Oh, chimpanzees that! Monkey news, you fucking...
Right, do you know it's nearly time for the Winter Olympics again?
Okay.
Is it? Okay.
They sort of come round every 4 years.
Is it this year, is it?
Yeah. And the last one that happened,
4 years ago, yeah.
there was a bit of an incident.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, I'd know about this then, because it would be...
Well, it'd be big news, because it's a well-known...
televised as well.
Yeah.
It's,
Do you remember any winners that were monkeys? In any of the
No,
tournaments?
of course
No,
not.
No.
So,
So
it's not
anyway-
going to be that, because it wouldn't be true. Go on.
Yeah.
So anyway, one of the popular events, bobsleigh.
Okay, right.
You know, it works.
Well, you
It's
need
like a
4
sleigh.
men. Is it 4 men or 5
4 men.
It's 4, so it's definitely 4 men that you need
Need
on a
4 men.
team.
Is it? And there's 2 team bobsleigh as
But
well.
they're always men, is that right, Rick?
Well, yeah, they have to be...
Anyway, so
Humans.
Well, that's be human. Yeah, it's the Winter Olympics for...
Yeah, so let me just clarify. With the Winter Olympics, you can't have any animals taking part.
No, and also, well, no, because they wouldn't be allowed. And 2, there's no way they could disguise it, because not only would they see it straight away, right, but they have blood tests,
Right, okay, so...
which would show up.
So they definitely know if it was
But they have blood
anything
tests.
non-human.
It's impossible. It would be literally impossible to have anything other than a human involved in a bobsleigh team.
Fine, okay, so carry on.
So anyway, this country, I don't want to name them because they're trying to shake off this sort of, this bad news.
Oh yeah, and you don't know. Because it's not true. Yeah.
So anyway, the country was doing really well in the qualifying stages.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem was there was like 2 members who were getting all like the press and stuff,
Oh right, yeah.
and one of them never got a look in. Right.
How tall was he?
Anyway, so this one member was getting fed up because the other 2 were getting all the press and what have you. So he said, "I'm not happy with this.
Yeah.
I'm jacking it in." So they were like, "You're joking? We've qualified. We're getting into like the main race and everything. You can't leave us now." And he said, "Well, you could do it all on your own before. The way you were acting, like you didn't need me, so I'm going." So they were like, "Oh."
Well, they need to replace him because there's a certain amount of people needed.
So anyway, so the clock's ticking. It's getting close to the big race and everything.
Of course it is, yeah.
They're like, "What are we going to do here?"
The substitute
Right?
they took with them.
What are they
Well,
going
they
to
must
do?
have,
Yeah, they would take the substitute. So get him
No,
on.
they didn't have any of them and that. It's,
What?
a lot of injuries and stuff.
Or just get a mate to do it, just get a mate or a friend
Yeah,
or the coach to do it, yeah.
But, there's a lot of responsibility on these people and, you won't want to let your country down and that. And they're like, what are we going to do?
Get a waiter or anyone.
Anyway, the time comes to the race. Seems to be 3 people on it.
There appears to be 3, okay, yeah.
They start off, they're whizzing around the track faster than normal. They're beating their old records.
Right, amazing.
Because the new fella they've got a little bit smaller.
Ah!
Right?
Is he in the bobsleigh or is he pushing?
He's in it.
Oh, right, okay.
Right?
He's wearing a uniform and a helmet, though.
He's got a helmet on, he's got the kit on. Nobody knows who he is, but the
course they do.
country's loving it.
Of course they
They're like, well, it looks like we're going to break all our records, Good. It's good that they found someone new.
Yeah.
Bet the other fella who left, he's sort of kicking himself, thinking, I could have been part of this. Anyway,
This wasn't a bloke that had very short legs and long arms, was it?
what happened is they're whizzing round the track and what have you,
Faster than ever, yeah.
faster than ever, and the press are like going, beating all records here. They started taking photographs. A lot of flashing. A lot of flashes from the cameras and stuff.
Right, of course.
Suddenly, the bobsleigh goes a bit sort of mental and whizzes off the track, right, into like all the tyres and stuff that they have for protective.
Oh, they love tyres, don't they? Bobsleigh members. Some of them sometimes you can find them swinging in one, or maybe eating a banana.
Ambulance comes rushing over and stuff. The other 2 members are looking pretty nervous for some reason.
Oh, what are they doing?
They're saying, look, don't take the helmet off because, you can do more damage to the
Well,
neck.
don't tell the paramedics how to do it.
They know their job.
Yeah,
they know their
yeah,
job.
yeah.
So they were like, just and plus, he came in at last minute to help us out. He doesn't want everyone to know who he is. He's
Yeah.
not after the limelight,
Yeah.
like some of the members we used to have, but he just was helping his country out.
Yeah.
Leave the helmet on. Anyway, they get him in the ambulance and stuff. The other 2 are looking a bit worried and what have you. They're gutted, they lost the race.
The little bloke, is the bloke not saying anything? Is he not?
He's in the ambulance now.
Is he not saying anything though?
Anyway, word got out, right, from one of the ambulance drivers a few weeks down the line, once all the dust had settled on the Olympics and stuff, and light news day and stuff.
Yeah.
It was reported that one of the ambulance drivers said that on that sort of dreadful night, when, the country lost out on a medal in the bobsleigh, he sort of reported that there was a monkey in the back of the ambulance. people were like going, you're joking.
I don't remember this. I don't remember this.
Well, this is it, you see, because they sort of swept it under the carpet a little bit.
Right.
They were like, this is crazy talk.
It's all shit.
Crazy
again.
talk.
Once talk, absolute shit. Where'd you get this from?
This is crazy talk, right?
It is crazy talk, and it's from the mouth of Karl Pilkington.
But the weird thing is that backed it up. Well, following week, there was a story of some people who visited the zoo, saw a chimp in a neck brace. And that's this week's monkey.
Bollocks. I would love to see you on The Apprentice. What would Karl be like on The Apprentice?
Wow, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Well, firstly, he's not a team player.
He's not a team player. No, he'd just go out getting his own money and say and not share it with anyone. So that's number one.
Joking.
That's number one. 2, you wouldn't want to do it. You'd say, well, why am I doing it? For that, I've got bills to pay.
Do what?
What was that? Whatever he asked you to do.
No, it's a task, innit? And I wouldn't go on there.
Well,
anyway.
treat this is like a task.
Well, okay, here's a task right now. Last night on The Apprentice, they were doing interviews.
Oh, don't tell me anything, because I don't know who's in it. I won't. All
All I'll say is that one of the interviewers says, and it's an old interviewing trick when you're working in business, they say, I've got a lovely luxury pen here, right? Here's a classic old Bic biro, right? Now you've got to sell that to me now, right? Sell it to me now. How would you sell it to me, right?
So this is a pen shop?
No, it's a test, right, to see how well you can sell something, okay?
Yeah, but...
Doesn't matter what it is. In this instance, it's a cheap pen, right?
No, but
send it to me. Tell me the virtues of that pen.
But
Go.
have you come to me or have I come to you?
No, what do you mean?
You're selling me that
It's
pen.
a task. You've got to show us how you would sell a pen to us. What's good about... Okay, tell me what's good about that pen.
Right, go. Sell me the pen. You're on my door, right? You're a pen seller.
So I've knocked on your door.
You've knocked on my door, you're selling me a pen.
All right.
Go.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm not interested. What are you
Well, you don't know what I'm selling yet.
Okay, well, what are you selling?
Don't get nasty.
I'm not getting nasty, I'm just saying, do you like to write much? Do you do much writing?
Yeah, some writing,
Do you?
I'm writing,
Do you? Interesting. How do you do that?
Computer.
Well, you use a word processor, computer.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks very much, goodbye.
No, but hang on a minute. Just, do you ever use a pen?
Sometimes I use pens, yeah, but I got loads of pens, thanks. I got a really nice pen here, beautiful, classic.
Looks like an expensive fountain pen.
It's an expensive fountain pen, my grandfather gave it to me.
So that's quite a special pen, it sounds like. I mean, it is a lovely pen and everything, but the problem is, when you go out and about, there's a danger that you could lose that.
That is very true, but I mean, I don't really take pens.
Have you seen Noosa? Can I interest you in some Noosa?
Just looks like a cheap, tatty old pen, mate.
Sometimes you just want a pen that does the job, and this pen does that job. Do you want to buy some?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Well, because I've just told you I've got a great pen. I've got a great pen already, and I don't see why I need that pen. It's cheap and it's tacky and it's
you're saying it's cheap. Do you know how cheap?
How cheap is it?
Well, it depends how many you want.
Well, let's just say for the sake of argument, I want 50 of them.
Yeah, I can do that.
What kind of deal would you do for me?
£8.
8 quid for 50 of those pens? I can get them for about a penny down the market.
Sorry, Karl, you're selling 50 pens for 8 quid. How much do they cost you? Just want to make sure this is a good business venture for you, otherwise it's pointless. How much do they cost you to buy?
I got them really cheap.
But how much?
How much did I say you can have them for?
8 quid for 50.
I paid £5 for 50. So
really?
Yeah.
Wait, this is. I'll have. Can I have them for £5 because I'm a mate?
You can have 25 for 50.
No, well, no. If you got 50 pens for 5 quid,
I wouldn't do this as a living. Anyway, that's the thing.
Karl, can you get me 50 pens for £5 then?
50 pence for £5.
Yeah,
it's not worth it, mate.
Well, no, I'm a mate. Just you don't want to make a profit out of me, do you?
It's not worth it. I'm trying to run a business there. I've got bills to pay.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to write something. I'm going to close the door in your face.
Alright, you don't want a pen.
No.
Fine. Sometimes you've got to know when to cut off and move on. And
so that's what you'd say to Sir Alan, is that you always give up? When someone says no, you give up?
I'll say I met him, he just wasn't having it, Sir Alan. So he didn't want any pens. If you don't want any pens, you're not going to buy them.
But you're a salesman, you've got to persuade me that I need a pen. Everyone needs pens.
But what are you saying about the other fellow that came out of well, just lurking behind him, but came out of the shower, and I went, oh, I'll have 50 pence for £5. What did you say to him? He said, not interested.
Yeah, because it all got a bit dodgy. I don't know who this person was and that, and he just wanted him at the going rate. What sort of a businessman would it be for me to have got the pens for 50 quid, 50 pens for how much? 8.
You're fired.
Stick it up your ass.
from the album Original Pirate Material. It's obviously The Streets, and an album track from that, It's Too Late. Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know everyone's raving about it being, you know, one of the albums of the year, but it is, I think.
It's great. That's brilliant. I love the backing as well. It's just so good. The lyrics, the things you go, they're my favourite band of the year. Next week then, we'll do all our favourite songs of the year, shall we?
No, I think it's got to be 2 weeks' time.
Oh, 2 weeks, is it?
Yeah,
We'll do
I'm
the
away
Christmas.
next week as well.
What do you mean you're away next week? What are you doing? Zoe Ball show?
I'm going up north again.
Why?
So Claire's going to be here with you.
Okay. Yeah, at least
What are you doing up north?
she does her job.
Just Suzanne's dad's birthday. So
I bet he's a party animal. I've read that they really kick off, don't they? Is it? Yeah. Mental.
so
You gonna be raving?
can't concentrate now.
Oh, well, he's all stressed because the lady from MTV's here. She's going to film his little face.
So
the things he said in the week, he was so worried. He's got worried about the spot on his head. That won't come out. Just you got your best side.
It's on that side. That's all right.
Yeah, the camera's out. Look, he's getting nervous now. Okay, Carl, ignore the camera. Okay, just ignore the camera. Okay. Now, me and Steve have done our research for you, and we've got 2 amazing things to tell you. What should I tell him first, about the baby or the...
Well, they're
crab?
both equally fascinating, so you choose.
I'll tell you the crab thing first, right? Steve actually saw this thing in The Guardian the week, about our research thing, and then we looked it up, we looked into it on Friday, and it is incredible. Right, listen to this. There's a thing in a bay in, New England, right, where it's like the biggest, they make silicon chips and stuff for computers, right? And because of the data protection thing, after they've done them, because they have to destroy the plates, right, where the information's sort of put onto them, but there's still flakes of silicon. They sort of grind it down straight away, and some of the flakes got into the bay, okay, but some of the information's still on even the slight granules of silicon. Anyway, gets in the water, and silicon is rather like a carbon derivative. They reckon if there'd been life on another planet that wasn't carbon-based, it'd be silicon-based. Because that's simple sugars and it's just COH and that, and it can work with silicon, right? Anyway, the crabs have been taken up, it's in the water, and they looked out on the beach, and, over years, the crabs have started, sort of putting themselves in formations, like geometric and they couldn't work out why they were doing this. And, when they put them in the experiment, they sort of like chopped them up, and they found they'd taken on silicon, and it had sort of got into their brain, and they were downloading information. They picked up little things, because it's just chemical, you know, like electrical impulses had got information off the silicon chip, and they were interfacing it. But this is the amazing thing. One bloke sort of thought of this, and he thought, well, if it's a simple computer, the brain, if it's just a simple sort of electrical thing, then maybe there's sort of, you know, we could get it down. So what they did is they made a thing called a biointerface, and they put it into the crab's brain, just a really simple brain, so it's measured on Vanguard, right? And it got impulses from it, and they were getting, like, computer readers, just flashes of, like, symbols and geometric things on this screen to read the crab's brain, and it was stuff like, you know, fragments of a...
what made them do this in the first place?
Because they saw the crabs behaving differently. They were behaving differently to each other. They were just like, they were, you know, intelligent, and they were sort of solving problems and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, when they downloaded the thing, it was like there was they found one of the secretary's names where it had been on the silicon chip, where it was just like a flash of a computer screen. But the most amazing thing is, they downloaded a memory, right? It was like a snapshot where it had been burnt onto the retina of the crab, just a snapshot or something, and it was like a picture of the beach, like a couple of years ago, right? And they also did, incredible, it was like just a digital black and white sort of thing, so they could see what the crab had seen.
Amazing.
Jeez.
Amazing.
So
intelligent crabs.
what are they doing with them now?
Super brain.
Well, they think this is the upshot. They think they could use it as spy crabs, because they could get these crabs. Also, the other thing is, as generations went on, right? So they put a crab in the sea or something, right? Lots of crabs in, and then as generations went on, a newborn crab, they downloaded the memory, and it had the memories of its great all together. It had every memory that any crab had been related to it beforehand, because it passed it on. It just passed it on.
So not even ones that had been eating the silicon stuff.
Yeah, no,
These are just like ones that have had kids.
Yeah,
and they've got like,
and they know so you'd know everything. Your everything right the way back.
So would that work if we ate silicon?
Well, I suppose so.
possibly.
So what are they gonna...
Well, they can
Yeah.
use them for all sorts of things, though. I mean, that's what's incredible. I mean, I don't know how you train it particularly. I don't know quite sure how you train, but I'm assuming if they can do it that way, then presumably they can give
be
it
like a
certain
load-
silicon information, which
Yeah.
they can then plant in it, if you like, within its sort of food.
Also,
as
if
it
you
were.
get them onto enemy
can get it
beaches,
yeah.
you'd have like 1,000 digital cameras just
Yeah,
Well,
sneaking
they-
around. If you get like
They
Osama
don't-
bin Laden or someone just
They
crawling
don't.
around
They
in
don't
the sand.
understand the information they've got.
No, they
though.
don't know they're doing it. They just download them.
This is the thing, so they're
But
not,
the
it's not
one-
like
the-
you could torture them and they won't be able to sort of give you the information because they wouldn't know what information they had because they're just
But the first crab they downloaded, they just kept seeing the same picture of a big crab feeding it, which they...
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's what, like its mother crab or
Yeah.
something?
As it was memories of it as a child.
But they're not in colour, presumably, because
No, it's all in
they-
black and white.
they're all in black and white.
It's just a digital camera, because it's just they don't see in black and white, so it's just like a, I don't know, I think it's burnt onto the retina or something. And, the only one that they kept were the ones they saw a lot of the time.
I mean, in a way, some of the educating Ricky I've got for you today is on the similar lines.
Right.
Oh, you've got to be impressed by that. You've got to be impressed by
that's
that.
pretty good. I mean, I'm interested to see, what they do
What
with
they
it.
do with what the crab developments are.
But yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, just digest that information, because that's not even the most impressive one we found.
I think it is.
I suppose it's pretty impressive, but the next one's maybe more shocking.
Okay, right.
But let's play a tune, and Ricky's got another extraordinary fact.
Oh,
The Cure, Love Song, classic on XFM.
So that's the crab that you can download their memories.
but what about other animals that are in the sea, in that same sea, eating the stuff? Have they tested them yet?
I don't know. I think they just took it on because their biology, something to do with. I presume they can take up minerals, and I don't know why. I don't know. But anyway, next one. This is just on the horizons. A bodybuilder, yeah. Married,
freaky.
married another bodybuilder, right, and they're pregnant. And they had these tests, and the baby was very large, but it was causing it pain, right, in the thing, right? And
It's almost bizarre, and like...
yeah, after the female woke up pregnant after 7 months, and the baby
It's walking around.
no, had forced its way out of the vagina.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it forced its way out, and it was
because it
crawled
almost had like super strength, like...
and it was pulling her along by the umbilical cord, and they had to, and it was a stone.
extraordinary. That's freaky. I mean, you
because
talk about
yeah.
freaky stuff.
That's made up.
What?
It wasn't pulling her along.
Yeah, well, no, it was pretty. She could feel it.
Exactly. And it was, do you know what I mean? Like, just went... and just sort of squeezed its
Just
way
got out because it was
Just
ready.
climbed out.
Because all the hormones.
Because it
and
thought
stuff.
it was ready.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. Just waking up and finding that in the bottom of the bed. Freak you out, wouldn't it? Because you'd think it was a nightmare initially.
And it had hair and everything, didn't it?
Yeah, because all the hormones, there, like
See,
a hair,
there
like a beard.
there was something in the week about, you've got test tube babies and that now, haven't you? But they've managed to do it. I only caught half
I
the
knew he'd
story.
be more impressed by the crabs than that. He doesn't care if it's
No,
human.
I am. I'm telling you
Go
though, that, there was something, I only caught half the story because I was busy, but, there's something about babies being able to be born without having any people involved. Or something, it's like putting them in an oven or something, and it's like a cake. And after a certain amount of time, it's ready.
I think you can buy those in Argos for kids at Christmas.
It's my first baby kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's Play-Doh, I think, that they can buy.
Yeah. So what do you think of that then?
The baby one.
Yeah.
I prefer the crab one,
Yeah.
but the baby thing's pretty horrible.
Yeah.
So it was bigger than like the average.
Both made up. We made those up.
Yeah, they're both rubbish.
They're both
I mean,
bullshit.
they are both rubbish. Despite the fact they're both rubbish.
Yeah.
They're interesting.
We made those up. Both those stupid stories up.
Yeah.
Imagine downloading a crab's memories and seeing its mum feeding it as a child.
Both that's are rubbish.
I had trouble.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna have trouble with, pushed its way out of the vagina.
Yeah.
I practiced that about 30 times yesterday with Stephen. I was going, I'm not gonna be able to do it, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to say that.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed?
A little bit. I mean, the baby one's a bit sort of out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't really having that one.
No.
But the crab one,
See, now, what's interesting, I think, is a useful experiment, Carl. I don't know what it's taught you about yourself. But would you say that that's revealed to you a certain thing? I don't know, maybe... that you're a bit gullible. I mean, you know, what I'm saying is maybe you shouldn't accept or swallow hook, line and sinker everything you read on the web. Do you not think maybe a valuable lesson?
I feel bad because I said to Steve, he won't be annoyed that we conned him, he'd be annoyed that they're actually not true. You'd love that crab thing to be true, wouldn't you?
It wouldn't surprise me if it did happen one day.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and then he'd laugh.
And it's, in the break, when I said about the crabs, you went, well, I'm keeping them then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, well, I know what you're getting at. with the educating Ricky, but, you know.
Let's see. Feeder. Just around Feeder. That's my favourite Feeder track ever. It's bugging me. It's just like, a ride track from about 10 or 15 years ago. So if you know, put me out my misery, email in. It's just like a ride track from about 1990, and I can't. It's just the beginning. Drive me mental.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Yeah, well, half hour to go. You've done your screen test.
Yeah.
Reluctantly. I think you had just such the wrong attitude.
Well, it doesn't matter, does it? If I've told you before, if things are meant to be, right, they'll happen. That's how I've got through my life, right? I'm 29 now.
Yeah.
Never
30,
planned.
ain't you?
Well, yeah, 30, but the camera's still on. Right, so... and everything I've done in my life, I've never sort of planned it. Do you know
Is that how you stormed through your exams?
Well,
your GCSEs?
look at the school play doing Little Donkey. I wasn't planning that day to do the drums. It just on the night I couldn't help myself.
And you stole the show.
What happened? What do you mean?
When all the kids were playing Little Donkey, I wasn't meant to be doing my drum set in that track. I was only meant to. I think I was doing We Three Kings or something. But when they started doing it, the tune, I couldn't help myself with the drumstick, just like tapping away.
Right.
At the drum.
Yeah.
And then when it came on, I was like, oh, and I started doing it, and like the teacher looked over at me, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, but she sort of gave me the nod as if to say, it's alright, carry on, it's sounding good. Then after it, she went, you know, they love that, you can do that again tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So I got like an extra part in the play and that.
Yeah.
That wasn't
So
planned.
you were doing the drum part to We Three Kings over Little Donkey.
Yeah.
That's weird. That is like Fatboy Slim or something, isn't it? When they mix up.
Yeah.
Or Moby.
Still mashing it up at the age of what, 8?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
And is that when someone was filming it and you could hear your dad on the camcorder going, he looks like a twat?
That's the one, yeah.
Oh.
And that's why I don't want to be on the telly, because I'll always have my dad's sort of echoing voice just saying, he shouldn't be on there, he looks like a... That's it. So that's why I'm a bit sort of nervous about this today.
Really? You think it's sort of quite Freudian in a way, sort of?
Yeah.
Your attitude is que sera, sera.
Well, plus I haven't got the look. I'm not pretending, right, that I should be on the telly.
What's wrong with your look for VH1?
It's not right. It's not right.
Jono was on VH1.
Was he?
Yes.
So I'm going up against Jono.
No.
So...
He's gone now, he's moved on.
Yeah, there you go, you see. Another one who they gave a chance to.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you know, yeah, I can do that. It's built up, right? They built him up, you can do that as a job. And then they knocked him down. And he probably started eating.
Well, I don't think you can ever knock Jono down.
He started eating!
Look at him now.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So if it's meant to be, right, whoever's gonna watch this tape, you know, thanks for the offer and that. But, you know, time will tell.
Very wise.
So, there you go. And I tell you what, actually,
Go on.
right, it's a bit funny, because we're looking on the web in a week at different sayings, and, do you know the saying...
A round head does not an MTV presenter make.
Yeah, no, what's that saying? Spark in the pan or something?
Eh?
Flash in the pan?
Flash in the pan, do you know that saying?
Yeah.
That's a bit like what could happen to me, innit? Do you know what I mean? There I am trying to do my normal job, right? And then you bring me in here on a Saturday, next thing everyone's after me.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't work out, and I'm dropped.
Yeah.
And that saying flash in a pan, do you know how it came about?
No.
Do you know like how years ago they used to dig for gold?
Gold.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And they had like a little pan,
Yeah.
and they'd put the soil in, and they'd rub the soil.
Yeah, and it's shone in the sun.
Now and again it shone in the sun, and they get all excited and were like, oh brilliant, some gold. And then they realised it was just the sun flashing in the pan.
Yeah.
And that's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, that's a bit weird how I saw that saying in the week. Almost like a little thing saying, don't be getting carried away.
Omen.
So, well, makes you wonder. But anyway.
Not really.
So, tell you things that make you wonder. You saw Darren Brown, what did he do?
Darren Brown, he's extraordinary.
Yeah, I told him, but it's
you should peep. A lot of people don't realise who Darren Brown is, and he's, I think, the best illusionist in the country.
We went to Jonathan Ross's house for his birthday.
I didn't.
No, me and Jane, and we went there, right, and there was lots of people there, and Darren Brown was there, and Jonathan got Darren Brown to do so, and it was incredible. He did all these tricks, right? I mean, incredible. It was just amazing. And he did one with a bloke who was there, a friend of Jonathan's. I think his name was Ray, and he got him to give the pack. He said, count the cards, and he counted out 52 cards. Yeah, he went, think of any card in that pack. He didn't touch it yet. He's counted 52. It was in his hand. He said, think of any card. He said, what was it? He said, 3 of spades, something. He went, find it in the pack. Couldn't find it. He said, count the cards. There was 51. Right, and he couldn't find the card, and he had no idea. And we forgot about it. He went, oh, that's gone wrong, and he forgot about it. And he kept, so he was going, I wonder where that card is, and he kept looking at it. Like, I found out that about a week ago, Ray went into hospital with an appendicitis. Yeah? And the surgeon, as we said, there was something crumpled up. There was a thing, and it was a card. It was the card that was in his thing causing appendicitis. And when he came out of surgery, there was a card from Darren Brown saying, was that your card?
That's amazing, don't you think? I mean, that's like incredible.
Thing and then a crab went, I know what it is. It's a 5 of spades. It's another wind-up. Yeah, well, see, I'm not going to believe anything anymore.
But that's
so if I ever,
you've learned a lesson!
Yeah, but say if all this goes wrong now, right? Cry wolf and all that.
Yeah.
Imagine I get dropped by MTV.
You haven't been asked yet.
Yeah, well, whatever. Right, they short on firemen because they're always going on strike. I answer the phone, it's you saying my house is on fire.
I don't know what you're talking about now, Carl. I don't know what he's talking about.
I think somewhere along the line there, Carl has been recruited by the fire brigade.
Did you leave that bit out in the story? Start again.
Yeah,
right,
that's what I'm saying.
Because I just wound you up about crabs, babies pushing their way out of vaginas, and Darren Brown causing offence. Right, yeah.
Little, what's the saying about,
little acorns don't gather any ground.
Crying wolf.
You can take a fish to water and you can't make it swim.
Well, do you know that saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Do you know why?
Because its neck's too long.
No, what?
It's got an awkward neck. I don't know.
That's correct. That is correct.
Right, anyway, we've still got to come.
Right,
it's been bad today. I'm going to apologise to people listening today, because I haven't been focused.
Do you know, have you heard the thing that Rolling Stone gathers no moss? You aware of that?
Yeah.
Do you know where that's from?
Where it's from?
In Woodstock. Right, the band used to go out and get this sort of like moss that used to grow there, and it was sort of like slightly hallucinogenic, right? And they used to come back, and they used to all go out, everyone was out there, mamas and papas were doing it, the Doors, they all came back. But Mick Jagger and Keith Richards would never do it, but they'd smoke other people's.
Yeah.
A Rolling Stone never gathers his own moss. That was what it... seriously, Carl!
Right, so we've still got to come. Rockbusters.
Have you heard the saying, a fish in time saves 9?
The clues were...
Have you heard that?
That'll never get off the ground. LZ. You've got...
Have you heard that saying, out of the frying pan into the saucepan?
You've also got... I'm trying to hold it together now.
Well, yeah, no, we're trying to teach you something, Carl.
Yeah, but you're not.
Why?
Because at least my stuff that I tell you, if you go into a pub and told someone...
What? There was a blind girl, she hit her head, she could see. What's that?
Well, just don't get down if your eyes are bad. Right, we've...
No, go around headbutting things.
Playing a song.
Oh, Carl, come on.